Black CEO denied first-class seat. 45 minutes later, airline in chaos. Before we dive in this story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you like the video, please subscribe. She showed her ticket. First class. The attendant looked her up and down, then shook her head. This line's for first class only. Moments later, she was escorted away as others watched in silence. What they didn't know? The woman they had just humiliated wasn't just any passenger. She was the CEO of a company the airline desperately needed a deal with. 45 minutes later, the flight hadn't taken off. Boardroom phones were ringing. Executives were panicking. What happens when you underestimate a black woman in power? And she's done staying silent. Monique Harris was used to being underestimated. As a 42-year-old black CEO in the tech world, she had built her billion-dollar logistics platform from scratch, without investors, without shortcuts. That day, she wore jeans and a sweatshirt, nothing flashy. She was exhausted, flying to close a deal that would transform not just her company, but the entire airline industry. She'd bought her first-class seat fair and square, but when she approached the gate, the attendant looked skeptical. She checked the ticket 3 times before saying, "Ma'am, this might be a mistake. Coach is that way." Passengers stared. Some snickered. Others averted their eyes. She calmly replied, "No mistake." But within minutes, security was called. She was escorted to the side while others boarded. What no one realized was that the airline's leadership team was minutes from learning who Monique Harris really was and how badly they had just messed up. Inside the terminal, Monique sat quietly, scrolling through her phone, but not aimlessly. She wasn't calling lawyers. Not yet. She was checking emails. Because of the flight she was about to board. It was carrying not just passengers, but 3 executives from the very airline she had been negotiating with for weeks. They were expecting to meet her at the destination for a final deal. This significant tech upgrade would revolutionize the airline's logistics. But she wasn't waiting anymore. She forwarded the entire email chain between her and the airline's corporate procurement team to every executive on the thread. Then she added a photo, a selfie of her in the terminal, blocked from boarding under the subject line, "This is who you're negotiating with." 5 minutes later, her phone buzzed nonstop. Apologies. Missed calls. "Please wait. We're addressing this." Meanwhile, word spread. Flight crew whispered. Someone in first class was removed to make space. They offered Monique her seat back. She stood there, watching. She wasn't interested in sitting next to people who now saw her only after realizing her title. Instead, she declined the seat and requested to be rebooked on a different airline. But she made it clear they'd hear from her team. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She did what powerful black women have always done. She let her professionalism speak louder than the disrespect. Back at headquarters, panic set in. The CEO had just publicly called out racial bias, and they needed her tech more than she needed their seat. Within 45 minutes, the airline's executive board was in full crisis mode. Emails were leaking. Social media posts from onlookers began to surface. She was treated like a criminal for flying first class. I saw her ticket. They didn't even scan it. The company's internal bias training materials were suddenly under scrutiny. Shareholders were calling. And then came Monique's post. No names, no outrage, just a caption. Respect isn't given based on how someone looks. It's given because it's right. We still have work to do. That post went viral within hours. And the deal? She pulled it. Signed instead with a rival airline that didn't hesitate to put respect first. The airline in chaos had underestimated the power of dignity and lost far more than a seat. Monique never told the world the airline's name, but everyone figured it out. Their stock dipped 6% by week's end. More importantly, her quiet stand sparked a national conversation about how success doesn't shield black professionals from racism, and how even a CEO can be treated like a second-class citizen. She didn't want revenge. She wanted reflection and change. In interviews later, she said, "I wasn't angry that day. I was disappointed. They didn't see me. Not really. But maybe now they'll start seeing the people they overlook every day. Respect is not a privilege. It's a right." Would they have treated her differently if she looked the part? And more importantly, how many others are turned away without anyone noticing at all? Where are you watching from? Drop your city and country in the comments and share this story if you believe silence isn't the solution. Take care.